we're going on once again, this time spectating the highest win rate champion in the entire League of Legends roster. And we're talking about no other than Singed Mid. You guys are probably sitting in your houses being like, wait, what? Singed Mid? And yes, you heard me right. Look at that right here. Singed mid lane, A-tier champion for almost the entire season at this point, sitting at 55% win ratio. That is fucking crazy. Now, if we will go into the best Singed in the world, the three best Singed in the world are actually mid lane Singed main, sitting at 73% win ratio, 70% win ratio, and 70.2% win ratio. And if that doesn't tell you that if you guys want free LP, you gotta play Singed, I don't know what else will. Anyways, let's go into the VOD. We are talking about Singed mid lane. Now, the playstyle is pretty interesting. The playstyle is actually extremely interesting. You're playing this way more aggressive than you thought you usually would. This dude is going for the phase rush Runepage. I will put the Runepage on the screen for you guys right now. So if you guys want to pick some free LP, feel free to copy the Runepage from the screen. Not for you guys on Twitch. And without further hesitation, let's go right into the minions have spawned. So as soon as the minions spawn, you're actually just going for the wave, and you start pushing it. Wait, he's actually playing versus Belveth. What the hell? Anyways, he's starting with the D ring into 2 pots. As soon as the wave comes, you're trying to get the push in and have an advantage because you have more minions than your opponent. If you're playing versus a mage, then what usually happens is that you use your Q on the wave and you try to get on top of them. If they allow you to get on top of them, then you usually win the trade. Make sure that you do not auto-attack them, because if you auto-attack the your opponent, then you will have the minion aggro on you, and that's a big no-no. Now, level 2, you can actually see the E into the turret. This is that's actually huge. The previous best Singed in the world is actually constantly started with E into W. But recently we can see more people starting with a Q into the E start, going at it with the flash into the ghost, and this way you can actually set up insane ganks for your junglers, just like you saw right here. Graves coming in for the gank after red, because they understand that you have your flip and that's a free kill, right? Maybe in your lower elo it will not work like this, it won't work like so, but in higher elos it will. But what will be easier in the lower elos is you're about to see this Singed roaming 24/7 soon. And I'm pretty sure that if you guys are thinking like, why should I play this? You guys are going to see the roams and you're going to fall in love with this pick. If you guys thought that Talon is a good roamer, whew, wait for that. After our first recall, we got the Dark Seal and the boots. We're going for boots on first recall because we're looking to roam 24/7. We see the enemy Silas, we get the E into the auto attack, we get the phase rush proc. Unfortunately, he is over the wall. One really important note as well is that we have to switch to Oracle Lens. Why? Because we're roaming 24/7. We can see that the Graves is coming for the roam. We're waiting in the bush a bit to make sure that we can flip the Velvet. We're trying to flip her into the W. We don't manage to do that. And then Silas is actually nearby. We do get out. We wasted Belveth's... Oh, it was actually Graves' flash rather than Belveth. Not too good, but that's fine. Make sure that you remember that this pick early on is not the best in 2 versus 1s. The way that you want to play this is you basically want to roam towards the side of your jungler, cover your jungler, and then you make sure that you always have the number advantage. One more thing to keep in mind is that if you know how to jungle track, this will be really important, because that allows you to roam towards the side that the enemy jungle is not in. And in the lane, what you're trying to do is you're trying to basically E the opponent, E and W your opponent into all of your minions. This way he's fighting you and he will take both your Q damage and the minion aggro, and that kind of guarantees that you will win every single trade. And because you're pushing 24/7, you can actually allow yourself to go for a lot of resets, and you can occasionally not fall behind in CS, even though you usually will. But this is perfectly fine because we're falling behind in CS, but we're getting everything back in pressure on the map and kills and assists. And to top it all off, Singed's build really isn't that expensive. We usually rush Crystal Scepter into the new Road of Ages, and Crystal Scepter is just so cheap. With the new Road of Ages, though, you might want to rush Road of Ages first for the levels, and then go into the Crystal Scepter. Now, we bought the Ruby Crystal Scepter, which means that this dude is trying to rush the Road of Ages just to get the level up faster. We do know that our jungler is going for the bottom side of the map, that Rake is up. We have ourselves the control ward on this bush because we want to roam towards the bottom side of the map in this specific game. At least this is what this word signs, right? Enemy build that is level 6 while we are level 7. We don't really want to trade around the ult advantage over here. We do see that the Graves is going for the bot lane gank, so we might see an aggressive play going in by Singed anytime soon. Yeah, we see the Q on the CS. This will give him the level 6. We see that Belveth is missing. He will shove this wave and the next as soon as he can. And we're talking about Singed, so this is pretty quick. And then we're waiting for our bot lane or top lane to push their, to allow the opponent team to push and go for a play. One really cool thing, if they're not pushing the lane themselves, you can actually go for counter jungle with your jungler and game prio this way. But you don't have to, because you can just do that. You can tank the turret because we have the phase rush, get the double kill, and look how brainless it is. You just go in, 4 versus 2, the opposing team can't do anything because you gain extra stats from your ultimate, you're extra tanky, and you can get out like this with the phase rush. Now, you did saw that the Singed instantly went for the recoil and he didn't kept going for the Belveth. And this is because we want to get back to the mid side of the map as fast as possible, get prio again, and roam again. We don't want to stay in the bottom side of the map because we don't really have too much damage for turret. And on top of that, we don't want to take resources for ourselves. We want to make sure that our AD carry and top laner, depends who is the carry in that game, or jungler, we want to make sure that they will have and get as much as gold as possible. And we make sure that they will carry the game, instead of us carrying the game ourselves. So if you like playing tanks, and you want to play mid lane, guys, just pick this 3LP champion already. This is literally your free ticket to, I wouldn't even say diamond, to masters. And as we can see, now we can just push. If Belveth, she just missed her E, I believe. Her W. She just missed her W, we can just freely push the wave. We're going for the bottom side of the map. We see that there is action in there. Our team has actually killed the opposing team because we gave them lead already. And we can actually make this a 4 versus 2 once again. If you're able to ping to your jungler, we're going in, we're putting the double to make sure that the opposing team, Lucian, will not be able to use his E. We're making sure that the Salus will not be able to get kills. We're going into the turret, tanking 4 shots, staying alive, and giving our bot lane 1 more kill. Now, if you're playing this, make sure to communicate to your jungler that you want these 4 versus 2s in the bottom side of the map constantly. And in order to do that properly, you need proper jungle track, because you don't want to go for that 4 versus 2 and then suddenly have the opposing jungler come for a 3 versus 4, because that will completely flip the game into the opposing side of the map, like into the opposing side. So you have to make sure that the enemy jungle is on the top side of the map when you're doing the bot side plays, unless you can pull them off quick enough. But look at that, 2 roams with 5 kills already. The game is 11-2 only because of the Singed. And I will say it because I don't think that I fully said it. Make sure to communicate to your jungler that you want to go for these 4 versus 2s. Dive when you tank it. If your jungler follows these are free. Alright, we're popping up the Ghost and their ult. We're actually leaving the Q trail behind us and almost killing the enemy Lucian. Our team is around us and we're looking for an engage on D. Gnar. We flash over the wall. We get double kill for our Aatrox over here. Enemy will have used the Ghost, but this will not be enough to outrun the Singed. Why? Because of Singed's passive. Every time you get near a champion, every time you get near a champion, you gain 25% movement speed for 2 seconds, and it actually stacks. So let's say that you get like around 9 people. Well, you're going to go quick. And I didn't say the number because, like, math. Not my strong side. But if you get around 3 people, for example, then you get 75% movement speed bonus, right? If you get around 4, do the math. Alright, we do see that Raven is fighting the enemy Lulin in there. We don't really have to help him in here. We actually got ourselves... We rushed the boots, by the way, guys. We rushed the boots first because we're playing around... We're roaming all around the map. And you can actually see... Oh, wait. So he actually... Look at that buy. He actually wanted to go for the normal Singed buy first, which is Crystal Scepter. Look, so he buys Crystal Scepter because this is the usual buy and best buy for Singed, but then he undo because he noticed that he has so much gold on him. He noticed that he has so much gold on him, 2k gold, and this will actually be... He saw that he actually has enough gold for Rod of Ages on that buy, so he wanted to get the Rod of Ages first because the fastest you get it, the faster you actually get the level up from it. So he just preferred to go for this. But the usual buy is actually Crystal Scepter, and then you go into the new tank item that gives your team cooldown when you press R. Don't recall the name of the item, but yeah. It's a tank item. It looks whitish. Let me tell you what's the name. 1 second. What is the name of that item actually? Let's open their op.gg. There we go. Radiant Virtue. You are playing it like sort of a support, but I would say that this is the better version of actually Galio. Because you can roam earlier and you slow the opposing team, every single one of the opposing team. You can split push, you can farm, you can do Galio, but just better. Although melee. But it's just the solo queue version of Galio, I swear. Alright, we're going for the side lane instead of grouping with the team because the team has actually... they're doing just fine on their own. We don't have both of our summoner spells. We can see that the Drake is up. We don't have wards on our side of the top side of the jungle. They didn't be able to death cobs to try and match us, but we are too far into the game. And by the way, guys, if you guys will play Singed, you will understand that you, specifically you, will be the one who finishes games before they start. Just like this dude did right here. The score of the game is 16-2, and the opposing team if played properly by the blue team, cannot get back into the game anymore. The game is basically over. And why? Because 6 kills 9 minutes in is just too much pressure to handle. And these kills are not avoidable. They were dived. The opposing team got dived in every single one of them. Alright, we see another recall, probably because we have enough gold for the Crystal Scepter. Let's see. No, we have enough gold for the blasting one, but in the next recall we will go for the Crystal Scepter. Now, after we have that fat lead, we can see that Singed is actually going for side lanes to try and get as much pressure on the map as he can, and he does that by taking turrets and by us making sure that his team has more map to themselves. So after you take this turret, for example, then all of this zone is no longer a dead zone, because you can go through this jungle and you have better routes to run away from the opposing team. You have more camps that you can take. You get the gold bonus from the turrets, right? So because we have such a fat lead, we can just allow the team to go for a 4 versus 5 in the mid lane, and they will win, even in your elos, guys. With 16-2, they will win even in your elos. And you can just take the turrets for free, get the 550 gold, go for the base, get the Crystal Scepter, and look, 4 versus 3, and they're 4 versus 4, and they are diving the opposing team. They are diving them. They're too ahead to care. Singed top lane, does he care? No, Singed doesn't care. Now we're grouping with the team, we throw the E, we go through all of them with the Ghost, we get all the way to the Silas, we E him, and just zoom back. Look at that beautiful play going into the opposing team, wastes Lucian's ultimate. This is what you usually want to do with Singed. You want to make sure that you waste as much ultimates as possible, and this is why Zhonya's can actually be a really good buy if you're playing versus skill shots. You make sure that they are trying to hit you, but guess what? They can't. And why is that? Because you're zooming like crazy. That movement speed is just nuts. And guys, this is how you carry solo queue. So, just because I have to say it, that pick is just completely nuts. If you want to gain free LP, pick that and get right into Masters ASAP. I hope that every single one of you have enjoyed today's video. Guys, if you want to level up your gameplay, let's do Big Me. If you want to level up your gameplay, feel free to book a coaching session with me right below the stream. And with all of that being said and done, I hope to catch you all next time. Peace, and I'm out.